You're scrolling through your phone before bed. Someone's achievement, someone's transformation, someone's life that seems more put together than yours. And there it is again, that familiar contraction in your chest, the thought, I should be further along by now. I need to be better, smarter, more disciplined, more spiritual, more something. You've made lists, set intentions, tried to become the version of yourself you believe you should be. But the very effort to become someone better is what keeps you trapped. Not because the effort is wrong, because in trying to become, you reject what is, and that rejection creates the prison. Swami Dayananda says something so simple, it's almost impossible to see. Meditation is not a technique you practice. Meditation is simply being the person you are, not the personality you've constructed from fears and demands, but the person beneath all that, the one who can look at the stars without asking them to be different. He makes a distinction. You are a person with a body, senses, a mind with memories and thoughts. But you become a personality through fear, anxiety, anger, envy, insecurity. All of this, he says, you create yourself. The personality is not who you are. It's what happens when you refuse to accept things as they are. When you look at the night sky, at the stars scattered across darkness, what kind of person are you in that moment? Are you demanding? Are you wanting the sky to be different? The stars arranged another way? No, you simply appreciate what is. You are, in that moment, a non-demanding, appreciative person. Why can't you be that same person in relation to everything else? The stars don't threaten you. They don't require anything from you. So your mind is quiet while observing them. But when you turn that same awareness toward your own life, your relationships, your thoughts, everything changes. Suddenly, there's resistance. This shouldn't be happening. I should be different. They should understand me. It should be easier. And in that resistance, you stop being a person. You become a personality, a collection of demands, fears, rejections. Watch this closely. In trying to improve yourself, fix yourself, become someone better, you create the very fragmentation you're trying to escape. The one who says, I must change, is itself the problem, not because change is wrong, because that voice comes from rejection of what is, and you cannot build peace on a foundation of rejection. Dayananda says in meditation, you reduce all situations to simple facts. When you accept situations, they become simple facts. When you reject situations, you become a personality. The paradox is this: the person trying to become peaceful is the disturbance. Look at the earth. The fact that it's a globe doesn't bother you. That it's tilted, moving around the sun, you have no complaint. That it has oceans and continents, mountains and valleys, rivers and streams, lakes and ponds, forests and deserts, you have no complaint. The earth doesn't ask for your approval. The mountains don't wait for your permission to exist. The rivers don't apologize for their direction. They simply are. And in that simple being, they don't disturb you, but your own mind, your own fear, your own limitations. These you cannot accept. These must be different before you can be at peace. You're with your parents. Perhaps there's tension, old patterns, ways they see you that feel limiting. The instruction sounds radical. Accept them as they are, their limitations, their virtues, all of it. Behind their demands, Dayananda says, there is always love. A love that wants you to be great, to be something. They have an ideal of you. They want you to be great in their own image. Well, they are human. See the tenderness here. He's not asking you to become indifferent. He's asking you to see the fact. They love you in the only way they know how. And beneath your resistance to them, there's often gratitude waiting. At least there are people in your life who care about your well-being. You can communicate with them. You can even try to change their values if it matters. But first, take them as they are. The moment you accept the fact, the conflict inside you begins to dissolve. This extends everywhere. The government, its policies. Don't be angry about its politics, Dayananda says. If you want to, try to modify the government. It makes no sense to complain to yourself and do nothing. The people running the government are just like you. They do what they can. Here's what's crucial. Acceptance is not passivity. It's not resignation. Act. Do what you can. Write a letter. Speak up. Help a community. Improve someone's health and well-being. But don't let politicians create in you a reaction of anger, frustration, or despair. The fact is the fact. The government is what it is. Your parents are who they are. Your mind is in whatever state it's in. When you accept the fact, you're free to respond clearly. When you resist the fact, you're trapped in reaction. And reaction is exhausting. This is why you're tired. Not from the situations themselves, from your endless commentary about the situations, your mind creating problems about problems, your personality demanding that reality be different before you can be at peace. There's a moment right now, whatever feeling is present, perhaps tension somewhere in your shoulders, your jaw, perhaps restlessness in your chest, perhaps resistance to this very moment. Don't try to change it. Don't try to understand why it's there. Just notice it, the way you'd notice the sound of rain. It's here. It exists. And you? You are the awareness in which this appears. Notice, is there someone trying to fix this feeling? Someone wanting it to be different? That's the personality, the demanding one. And beneath that, a simple awareness, a presence that doesn't need anything to change. That's the person you are. No past, no future, no problem to solve. Just this breath, this moment, this simple fact of being. When your eyes soften back to these words, something has already shifted. Not because you did anything, because you stopped demanding something be different. Dayananda says you are gifted with a body, senses, and a mind that has memories, emotions, and knowledge. And you are conscious of all of them. You are a person. When you simply see this fact, when you appreciate the world without demanding it be different, you are only yourself. You are not playing roles. Can you see your impatience without becoming impatient about your impatience? That single question contains the entire teaching. The chattering mind, the anxious thoughts, the self-criticism. None of this needs to be silenced. It needs to be accepted as a fact. And in that acceptance, something extraordinary happens. The distance between you and your experience collapses. You realize there's no separate you watching your thoughts. There's only consciousness. And consciousness, Dayananda says, is identical with silence. Not the silence that's a pause between disturbances, but the silence that remains, whether the mind is thinking or not. You are that silence. You are in truth consciousness itself, and that cannot be disturbed by anything that appears within it. The person you're trying so hard to become might be the very thing preventing you from recognizing the person you already are. Not someone who needs to be fixed, but someone who can simply be appreciative, non-demanding, aware. What if you stopped trying to become someone better? What if, just for today, you met each situation as a simple fact, your thoughts, your feelings, your limitations, the people around you, the world as it is, not with resignation, not with indifference, but with the same quiet appreciation you have for the stars. They don't threaten you. They don't demand anything from you. And in that space, your mind is naturally still. The peace you're looking for isn't at the end of some spiritual path. It's in the simple recognition that you are already the awareness in which all experience appears. The stars, the mountains, your thoughts, your fears, all of it arises in you, and you, consciousness itself, remain untouched. If something here resonates, let it settle, not as knowledge to collect, but as recognition of what you already are, will be here, pointing to what cannot be taught, only seen. Until then, simply be.